Obviously, I think the bye week for us came at a really great time. The bye week's about obviously a couple things. Looking at yourself as a football team, self-scout is important, but also reflecting on yourself as a coach. I think that's maybe more important than the numbers you derive and the numbers that you look at. Question you always ask yourself as a coach, what could I have done better personally to help these guys win the 3 games that we lost? That's always a self-reflection. I think any coach does that. That's part of the DNA of coaching. And with that being said, you always reflect things. Maybe you could have done this better in practice. Maybe you could have done that or that, and then you move on. But I think it's good for me to self-reflect. I haven't coached in a while. As far as a team, I was coaching America. Didn't have my own team. With that being said, it's helped me to look at some things that hopefully I can improve on as a football coach, and how I can connect better with my players, make them understand the importance of the details of what we're requiring them to do, because the overall message is real simple. When you're a 3-3 football team and you've lost 3 games by 1 score, you got to ask yourself, well, why did that happen? How can we prevent that from happening again and win some of those games? And you have to look at everything you do. Now, with that being said, I think the players have to buy into that as well. My big statement was real simple. We're not going to get a new system. We're not going to get new coaches. The culture is the culture. It's not going to change. What we have to do now is correct the mental errors. Just if we cut the mental errors in half from every position group, we're going to be a better football team. That's just my opinion. That's how I look at it when I watch the tape, and I've watched all the games. I've watched us play for the last 6 weeks, and when you break it all down, that's what we have to improve on. I mean, we've made a lot of mistakes in games, and the little things become big issues. It's not the one mistake, it's the cumulative effect of mistakes. You make, I've always told a story, one player says, well, I only made 1. Yeah, but your partner made 1, and if everybody makes 1, that's 22 errors. Against a good team, you're not going to win. You ain't going to win. It's not going to win that game. And so I think we have to collectively, as a football team, understand that. And if we do, we'll have a chance to win some of those close games. The numbers are the numbers. We have always things to improve on. Our third quarter is not very good. We've been outscored 37-34. We've got to improve in the third quarter. Not a lot of points in the third quarter. We struggle coming out at halftime. We have scored points. It's kind of interesting. We've scored 179 points and only given up 127. You would think that your record would be better than that, but it's not. We got to own it. It's ours. And we got to try to do something about it. Defensively, we don't tackle good enough, to be quite honest. Too many missed tackles that allow drives to extend, plays to extend. So we got to pick that up. I think third down, we're not efficient enough on offense. We get ourselves in a lot of third and longs, 26 third and longs this season. Or excuse me, a third and longs, I mean 3rd or 10 or more, and that's, you don't convert those. Pretty good on first down, average per play. It's actually 6.2. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good number. You feel like you can convert some plays. Time of possession's not what I like. We've only owned it for about 27, 28. Opponents have owned it for about 32. So that is not allowing us plays. We only have 67 plays as an offense. We're averaging that. We want to be up about 77 to 80 plays on offense. And so there's some things we got to correct, and that's the task. And if we can do it, we'll win more games, and we'll see if we can do it or not.
Manny was talking about how he's trying to be positive with the team, saying, hey, we're close. Now we're just going to make a few more plays. With a team like this being so young, is it more important to be positive instead of taking the negative approach that?
Yeah, well, I think Manny hit it because I'm not a negative guy. I don't live on this road. I never travel that road. There's nothing to gain there. It's you know, the most powerful word in the English language, in my opinion, is the word called hope. And that's what you do as a coach. You give people hope. You give players hope that there's things we can do to fix this. And so, with that being said, I mean, Manny's exactly right. You know, there's no need to going down that road. It doesn't do you any good. I mean, it really doesn't. It's just what can we do to get better? And I think this is a very competitive football team. We've lost 3 games. The record of the combined teams we lost to is 14-2. So that's what it is. And if we want to be a good team and we want to be a conference champion, we're going to have to win closer games. We won 1 close game. That was Michigan State. Got down to 1 score, and we had the ball at the end. We won. The other 3, we had opportunities, and we didn't cash in, whether it was on defense, offense, however it all fell, we lost by a score. And, you know, that's the difference. And if you keep playing games like that and you put yourself in that position, hopefully we'll hit that play or 2 where we'll win 1, and then all of a sudden it's like anything else, you get on a roll, and maybe you win 2 and 3, and you know, but we got to put ourselves in position to do that, and we've done that, but we just haven't cashed in enough. Yeah, that you always do that, and I did that in pro football. That's one of my things during the bye week. The players taking the majority of reps that have been a little bit, they can practice, but why? I mean, what we're doing is we're self-evaluating. We're doing a lot of fundamental stuff. We're working on us right now, just trying to do things better, you know, make players better. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, get back to the brass tacks of it. And then next week, starting Sunday, we get into the plan, and not that we're not planning now, but it's more of us. What can we do to help us? So Manny and those guys, you know, they go through the walkthroughs, and then we're letting them rest a little bit. There's more than just Manny and Nikhil's one of them. There's a couple guys. You know, there's a few guys. Well, the rule is you have to eventually work your way back inside to the field of play. He was shoved out, obviously. We had the same incident on our sideline, to be quite honest. And I think what happened is the gunners, the guys that were blocking him, hopefully I didn't use that in the wrong tone, but we call those guys that. Not trying to be controversial by any stretch of the imagination. They got to wait till he comes back in bounds to block him, and our guys did not. And that's just, you know, that's coaching. You know, we got to coach him better. We got to let him know, hey, look, the guy runs out of bounds now. He's eventually has to come back in. You got to make your way in. He took the long route of coming back, obviously. And that, you know, and I'm not going to get into should it be a foul, should it not be a foul. We turned it in, and we'll let the officials deal with that. And I'll leave it at there. Leave it at that.
Offensively, you guys have played so differently these last 3 games than the first 3.
Yes.
As you look at it, do you need to find more of a middle ground between the 2, or the last 3 have you determined this is how we're going to be able to win?
Oh, I like the way we play, to be quite honest. Yeah. I like running the ball. I want to throw it. As I say, we average 67 plays. I think when we get up to the 70 mark, that allows you to probably run it 30 times, maybe 35 at the most, and then throw it the rest of the time. I just think you control the game better in that way. When you're trying to build a defense, you got to protect them. And how do you protect them? You take time off the clock. You don't let the opponent possess the possessions they want. You don't let them get 16 possessions. You make it a 14, 13 possession game because you run the ball. First quarter up there, we possessed the ball for almost 9 minutes. Problem is defense went out there and let them score right away. You know, that's one of those deals where you take that much time off the clock, and if you could hold them and make them punt, all of a sudden you're up a score. You just took 9 minutes off the clock. They had about 2:30, quarter's almost done. You get the ball and go on another long drive, you're in the second quarter already. And so I just think right now that's the way for us to win. I say that, we get down a couple scores, we might have to throw it 50 times. I dread that, I really do. That just bothers me when you got to do that, because it's like gambling. You just keep betting on yourself, but eventually you're going to bust out. You know, it happens. because a lot of things go wrong when the ball leaves the quarterback's hands. You know, just a lot of things can happen, go bad for you. It looks good. Fans get all excited. Oh, yeah, you're throwing it. Yeah, okay, throw it all you want. And they start catching it going back the other way. Then you got a problem. So I just think, you know, we want to be a balanced offense. I said that. We're running pretty good right now, and it's keeping us in football games. And so that's what you want to do. Your intentions are to win the game the best way you know how. And I think right now that's one of our strengths. Yeah. So.
Is there any player at this point in the season who's really stuck out to you or really has shown the most?
You know, I'm not getting into that. That's for those awards banquets. And I heard we give out a lot of awards. They told me it's a 3-hour banquet. And I said, really? Wait till I get the pin to that one. It won't be 3 hours. I promise you. There's no participation trophies. We'll give out a couple of awards. You know, best dress, best suit, best uniform. We just leave it at that. We got a lot of work to do.
Do you feel in the losses there's been some kind of element where the offense wasn't really imposing its will, even the defense is showing a certain?
I don't know that. I just think, you know, it's always some plays. And you reflect on the games and you look at them and you go, you know, I mean, the last game, I mean, but look, you can always, when you get in games like that, you can spin the story however you want to spin it, okay? But let's just say, for instance, they shank a punt. We get the ball on the 32. Probably, worst case scenario, we kick a field goal. Okay, that doesn't happen. We get a foul. They get the repunt. Now, we kick it in the end zone. I mean, it's stuff, you know, and as a coach, you look at it and you go, those are the mental errors. Not blaming that one play, but there's critical ones. There's a missed tackle when you got the guy 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and you missed the tackle and he runs off and makes 15 yards. And I'm like, well, why do we do that? That's what we do. You know, you got a 3rd and 15, and it's like, okay, on defense, that's really good. And they complete a pass and make a first down. And I'm like, how do you do that? I mean, why does that happen? You know, and it's just ball. It's just football, and you got to give them credit. We have missed opportunities. You drop an interception, you drop a pass, whatever it may be. You miss a block. It's all those things, and they're a part of the game. And when you look at the game in its totality, and you take out those plays, and you say, if we make those plays, it's a different football game. But we don't. And that's where the mentality comes in, you know, and that's where we got to find a way to make those plays.
Coach May was talking about how the offense had 6 plays in the 4th quarter.
Yes.
To what extent do you feel like the offense can help the defense by staying on the field, stringing together longer drives?
Well, that's a 3rd down situation, and that's what we talked about. You know, we've gotten ourselves into some bad downs on 3rd downs, whether it's a negative play created by the defense or whatever it may be, and then that always hurts you. You know, when we're humming offensively, we're pretty balanced. We can run it and throw it, and we take a lot of time off the clock. And he's right. I mean, you know, there was another game we played, and I think in the 3rd quarter we had 3 possessions. They were all 3 and out. We had 9 plays. And so you're not going to score a lot of points doing that, and you're not going to possess the ball very long. The other team's going to possess the ball. And the more possessions the other team has and the ability to have plays, they're going to make a play. I mean, you know, the less plays, the less chance that they're making plays. So it all works hand in hand, but it's got to be a group effort. You just can't blame it on one side of the ball. I don't get into all that. You know, it's easy. You live on the defensive side your whole life, but I'm the head coach. I'm not just the defensive coach. I'm the head coach. And, you know, it's easy for me to say, well, you know, it's the offense. Nah, it's all of us. We all got to work together better, do a better job.